Is now a good time to buy mid-cap stocks over small and large cap stocks? We are definitely going to cover that in this video. I'm filming this very brief clip because, first of all, it's high quality. And the following clip on mid-cap stocks is not a high quality video. I'm going to keep it though. I'm not going to take this video down because I do believe there's valuable content about mid-cap stocks in this video. And if you'll look at the screen when I go in to present some information on the screen, I think you'll find that's easy to read and pretty clear, although my image is a little blurry. And I'll try to work on that and do better on the next video. We always thank you for tuning in and hope that you'll like and subscribe to our channel.
Is April of 2025 a good time to buy mid-cap US stocks? I've been seeing articles about it as I get poured in with emails about the financial markets and the economy. Now, today, I really do want to look with you at mid-cap stocks together. Let's just dive in and take a look at it and see if we think it's going to be a good idea. I'm not really into timing the market. However, a lot of people are, and this video may be helpful to you if you're trying to move in between large cap, mid cap, and small cap, rather than just maintain a position in the entire US stock market, which is what we do for our clients. However, if we're going to try to time the market a little bit, maybe raise risk, certainly let's look at this and see what we've got. Portfolio 1 here I've created is for large cap. Portfolio 2 is for mid cap. Portfolio 3 is for small cap, as you can see. And basically, what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and look at the summary first. All right. Let's do that. So you can see and this, by the way, this portfolio is going to be from January of 72, as you can see, to February of 25. Okay. So let's go down here and let's just take a look at it. The performance is here, and I think I'm probably going to need to come over here and move my head a little bit. There we go. So let's take a look here. As you can see, large, mid, small, I just put 10,000 in each one since January 72. The imbalance for large is an impressive 2.2 million, almost 2.3. Mid cap 3.7, small cap 3.1. So yes, since January 1st of 1972, mid cap has indeed outperformed large cap by 1% a year, 1% a year. And then small cap, it's outperformed by a negligible 0.3% a year. Although I don't think 600,000 is negligible, which is the ending difference between mid and small cap. So certainly mid cap has been the best long-term performer in the modern era. And I call the modern era when the US dollar, we voted to come off that gold standard in 1970. So in the modern era, 1971, I think was the first year that the US dollar was off the gold standard. We can see the best year, worst year. It's had more of a drawdown than large cap over here in the left column. Let's keep going. So we know mid cap has performed better in the modern era over the past, we'll call it 54 years. And let's look at it here. So now we want to see, this really will help us see if mid cap is something we want to get into right now. Over large cap, that is. Do we want to move money from large cap to mid cap? Do we want to move money from small cap to mid cap? As you can see, the historical average over the past 10 years for mid caps has been 9.27 versus 11.77. So the past decade, it's underperformed its historical average by 2.5%. That's a very good signal that it is, in fact, going to outperform large cap. If we go down here to small cap, though, we can see it's underperformed its average by 3%. So I certainly don't think mid cap moving forward we'd use these numbers to say it's going to outperform small cap. And then we can see, even though the past 3 years really been dismal, comparatively speaking, to its historical average for both mid and small cap, but also to large cap. So I think by using historical performances in the modern era, starting in January 1st of 1972 is when I started this graph. This is as far back as I could go using this software. The modern era of being off the gold standard, you can see that it does appear that mid and small cap have been underperforming their average by quite a bit, particularly over the last 3 years. And even over the last 10 years, they've been underperforming their average. Now, over the last 5 years, they've been right at it. However, that's an anomaly in between the 3 and the 10. So I do think if you're one to move between cap sizes, it would be a good time to divert some money from the large cap. And remember, I think 60% of the returns or 40% of the returns of the S&P 500 for 23 and 24 were from those magnificent 7 stocks. keep that in mind as well. Large cap stocks, the S&P 500 has performed well the past 3, 5, and 10 years. Most of that not most, a lot of that performance has been attributed to the wonderful Magnificent Seven technology stocks that you can just Google those. It's Apple, Microsoft, our favorite technology companies. So there's not much else I want to look here as far as whether or not we want to move money. I don't think that's going to be helpful. The way mid, small, and large cap US stocks are highly correlated. I do want to look at the current PE ratio, which would also be an indicator of where we can see mid cap stocks going. So, whereas small cap stocks have underperformed their historical average over the past 10 years, and especially over the past 3, small cap stocks right now are very overvalued. As you can see, they're currently at 30 on the price to earnings ratio. I believe what I used here was the Russell 2000 index, and then historically, they've only been 18 times earnings on the modern era Russell 2000 index, or that may be the past 10 years. Nonetheless, small cap stocks are the most overvalued right now, followed by large cap stocks. And let me take a look at how overvalued large cap stocks are right now. They're about 23% overvalued, whereas the mid cap stocks are only about, we'll call it 6% overvalued. So yes, mid cap stocks do appear, if I had to pick one, and I was going to put all of my US stock allocation into one cap size, it would, for the next, we'll call it 3 years, it would indeed be medium. No doubt about it. And I want to come down here. Let me move my picture a little bit one more time so you can see a little bit better. And these are the current P ratios. Certainly something for us to consider as we're looking at this. But you guys just know that the stock market's going to go up and down. It's hard to time. And picking out caps like this may not be the best thing to do. We try to just keep a total stock market position for all of our clients. What do you do? Do you move in between caps? Has that worked well for you? I know it can work well if you keep a long-term mindset and you really get to within 20% of the bottoms and tops when you're moving around. It's just really hard to do and not something we do. What about you? If you like this video, please do hit the like button and subscribe. I want to continue to put out content that'll be valuable and helpful to you. And we will see you in the next video. Thank you and God bless.